Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us in another week of
Life.
misery. Just kidding. Yeah, thanks for coming back. We got a video today. Brian has picked out, what's it called? The Trump bubble burst sooner than you think.
Yeah, I think it's by a professor. Yeah, so this guy is called Richard J. Murphy. He's English. He's a professor of accounting at Sheffield University Management School. All right, anyway, he's going to explain the Trump bubble and when it could possibly burst. Let's see.
When will the Trump bubble burst? I'm sure that Trump's bubble is going to burst. And just for the record, I'm not at this moment talking about a financial crisis that is coming, although I have in other videos. I'm talking about the political bubble that Trump has created. I'm sure that too is going to burst. Let's remember, all bubbles are built on the basis of two things. The first is hype and the second is delusion. And Trump has been peddling both of these in his political version of reality, which is anything but that because it's built on fantasy, deceit, and fear. A bubble happens when belief replaces value. In economics, it's when people stop asking what is happening in the real market and start assuming that prices will rise forever. Politically, Trump has done the same. He's convinced millions that cruel...
That's insane.
Keep in mind, a lot of these places don't actually have people living in them, but still, it's kind of scary to see
that much red.
the visual.
Yeah. No, I forget because on the blue parts is usually more
People.
dense cities.
Yeah,
so it has a bunch more people. Yeah.
Chaos and lies represent leadership. But we now know that's not true. In the state, 70% of people no longer have confidence in his form of leadership.
Well, it's
But
too fucking late,
I know.
isn't it?
The question is, when does that belief system that is sustaining what he's doing break? Trump did not, after all, deliver for America from 2016 to 2020. We know that. If he had, he'd have won the election in 2020. But he didn't. Jobs had not been revived. Inequality grew. His tax cuts enriched the rich and drained the state. Debt rose heavily as far as the US government was concerned.
I mean, with his new bill too, the debt ceiling is going even higher now. I forget, by like 5 trillion or something.
How fun.
And even before COVID, his economic bubble was bursting. The pandemic just exposed it faster. And this time round, Trump is relying on creating an even bigger bubble than he did last time. Tariffs are now seen to be taxes on consumers and not on foreign governments. We're seeing, in the States in particular, that tariffs are wrecking supply chains and raising prices. And that's happening most particularly in Trump's own Republican heartlands. The big question is, when will they, and in particular the farmers in the Midwest...
I think it's starting slowly, but I noticed I'm seeing more things with farmers saying like, what are you doing? Like, why is this is about to kill my, soybean farmers currently right now are under attack because of the tariffs on China that he imposed. And now China is saying, well, then we are going to completely stop purchasing soybeans from you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think China's like our biggest consumer of soybeans. Yeah.
Lose faith in Trump because they relied on soybean crops, which they were exporting to China. And the expected quantity of soybeans to be exported to China in 2025 is precisely nothing. Their market has disappeared. He has destroyed their well-being already. In the same way that his tax cuts are fueling division and speculation.
Honestly, I don't expect people that live in these rural areas to get on a pedestal and repent their vote, but goddamn.
Repent.
I know. But because I don't like the farmers are the foundation of a lot of our... But
they're like hidden. A lot of people don't think about them. Most people on a day-to-day basis, especially in cities, you're not thinking about farmers.
You're not. Especially the ones that don't even live in America. They're definitely not thinking about them and the stuff that we do import. But I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, this will wake up some of those areas
Yeah.
into considering more than their ego when it comes to voting.
Or
And
to just look into things like detailed, like wise, like what's really
that's what
happening.
I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
look past the ego boost you get out of somebody you think is representing you. Because the thing here is a lot of people get their identity tied up with politicians, and I think they see them as like an extension of them, and I get why. Like, they should represent us well, but some people like lose their identity in these people.
Yeah.
And it's giving cult a lot of the time. But then again, I feel bad for the Democratic farmers, because I know there's a lot of liberal farmers, at least, who are paying the price for this.
I don't think there's a lot.
There's more than you would think.
Maybe. Yeah. I think majority of farmers voted for Trump.
Or just didn't vote at all.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you deserve it. No, because they are a piece of our backbone here, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna wish them harm, but at the same time, it's like, you kind of have a bigger responsibility than you think you do when it comes to learning about this stuff, I guess.
And not investment or growth.
Sorry. There's this thing. I think the biggest way you can see if a politician is a good person is they don't wish bad upon the people who did not vote for them. They just want to help everyone, even if they don't agree with them.
That's not even a good politician. That's just a good person.
That's what I'm saying. But like that's something that Trump doesn't do. He wishes like the people who don't vote for him, they're like his enemy now. So he's like, they need to fucking die. Like, no, he's not. I'm exaggerating, but like
Honestly,
he calls
he
for
probably
like
wouldn't care.
he calls for them like on the speeches they make and shit. Like, it's just insane. They sound like cries of war, like against the Democrats. It's like, you should want to help everyone.
Yeah. He should have been
He's
a theater kid.
breaking down the livelihoods of real people in the USA. And yet, Trump's policies are being mimicked by the far-right leaders globally with the same hollow results. 30% of people in America still seem to believe in Trump. And that same hardcore is reflected in the support for the far right in Britain, France, Germany, and beyond. There appears to be this core who will believe are present. But the Trump cult cannot deliver prosperity. It only delivers grievance. And grievance can't sustain this cult. When belief collides with reality, collapse will follow, as bubbles always burst. Trump's self-styled belief in himself, and for example in the deal of the century that he claims to have forged in the Middle East, is all a mirage. Everything about him is mythology.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, looking at that
fake.
deal with regard to Gaza, there is actually nothing.
Yeah. Jared Kushner, that's his son-in-law.
Yeah.
Is that son? He was over there in Gaza and Israel.
That guy's not a human either.
They're trying to lay their way to be like, oh, well, we need to be over here to make sure it happens, and then they're going to just do things to benefit them over there.
Of course. It's all about money.
Of substance in it. There's no enforceable peace. There was just a prisoner swap. And it ignored Palestinian reality. His Nobel Prize ambitions now look particularly absurd. This deal will be massively unraveling before the 2026 nominations close on 31st January in that year. When this peace evaporates, so will his global credibility. But, so far, the far-right population...
Right. But by then, a lot of people who are still illusioned by his nonsense are all they hear is peace deal. And that's enough for them.
Yeah.
And they think, okay, everything's fine now. And it's not. It's all for show. Everything is a fucking performance. And again, it's not just Trump. It's that whole administration. I mean, we're still in a government shutdown. It's been a month pretty much now. So...
Journalists haven't noticed. They're still following. Their appeal, like his, rests on resentment and not results. But when it's apparent that Trump can't deliver results, whether at home or abroad, his credibility will decay, and so too will theirs. And that then becomes the critical tipping point. The point when the far-right illusion that's built on Trumpism will fade. I believe that's going to happen. I believe the Trump bubble will burst. But this is not just about one man. It's about a global ideology of contempt for truth, law, and community that will literally be shattered. And when it does burst, millions will face the shock of discovering that cruelty was never a policy. But this will do something much more important. From my perspective, this will open the chance to rebuild the politics of care and honesty and competence. Market's correct.
Yeah.
When valuation...
I think it will too, but it's again, we've
It's
said this
debatable.
before. We're gonna have to go through all this bullshit that's gonna happen before that because of someone like Trump and because of his followers.
I
It's
will agree that this term is far outdoes his last term, but I do remember when Biden got elected, there was like a sense of relief in this country.
just because it
And
wasn't
people
Trump.
just, yeah, I know. And then people just kind of like went about life, and like no one held our politicians to a higher standard. In my opinion, I did see a little bit of a shift when it came to Gaza. Like people were like, we don't care who you are. If you're taking money from AIPAC, you're the enemy, which I agree with.
Yeah.
But other than that, when it comes to issues in our country, the greater majority doesn't hold the Democrats to a higher standard. And I'm talking about like liberals here. Like they're not holding the Democrats to any more than just not being a fascist. Like, you know?
Yeah, you're right. That's what.
So do I think how, I don't know, extreme things have become might bounce us in another direction? Yeah, but once we're there, I don't think people are going to do much to stay there. I think, and I don't blame them. To a degree, people are just tired. Like, they're willing to take what they can at this point.
Well, I know. So whoever gets into power needs to really shift things financially for the majority of people, and
Right.
then.
But it's like a
will-
push and pull. It's like, okay, if you just reverse a lot of the damage the Trump administration did, yeah, that's great. But now
You're just back where you were.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying they need to like not just reverse. They need to like completely reshape.
I know, and they will only do that with public pressure. And my point is the public gonna still have that momentum to do that? Like, I don't think.
I know
they
what you
will.
mean. If people have more money in their pockets and they feel a little more like happy with life,
People
they're
are
willing
comfortable,
to.
yeah,
they're-
and that is beautiful. Like, I would rather people be comfortable, but there is still always going to be those like certain groups of people who are getting the shit end of the stick regardless of who's in office, and
Yeah.
those are the people that I feel like get left behind, and that does suck.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's another topic.
lose touch with fundamentals. And we face that risk right now. And Trumpism will collapse in the same way, when belief cannot forever defy the evidence that Trump is failing. And the more he blames others, the weaker his myth will seem to be. The question is not if his bubble now bursts, but when it will, and how much harm he will cause when it does. And if they collapse together, both financial markets and Trump, maybe we will get the chance to build back better. I know that feels like a pretty bleak conclusion
Yeah.
to draw, but all bubbles do end. And Trump's economic, political and moral bubble is no exception. When it bursts, it will take much of the global far right down with it. Our task is to be ready. Ready to rebuild democracy. Ready to rebuild truth. Ready to rebuild decency. Ready to rebuild from the wreckage that Trump will leave behind him.
Okay. This is the type of shit, like there were those No Kings protests and stuff. Like this would be good. Like you see, this guy is like outlining like a plan, right? He's saying like when this happens, we need to be ready to do X, Y, and Z. Like these are the types of things that need to be done with those type of movements instead of just being like, hey, let's get a bunch of people out there and then that's it. And then we go back home. Like they need to make like plans. They need to make like things to work on. I think that's the biggest thing. Like you need to turn all that frustration of these millions of people into an action plan.
Right, like a call to action or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I agree. I do think that there are people at these marches, I don't even think protest is the right word, that do encourage networking and like community building, so that's cool. But I don't think the greater purpose is that. And yeah, whatever. Who are we to say what people should and shouldn't do? Like, we're not the ones organizing it.
Yeah, no.
But I do agree with you. Like I think we said this in like one or two videos ago. Like if there's no goal, people are just hanging out on their day off. Like,
exactly, and it's on a Saturday too, which is like, so they should do them in a weekday, but then you would need, you know, people to be like, okay, fuck work, I'm gonna go do this.
right. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And a lot of people can't.
Yeah, I know.
Won't, or yeah.
You feel the pressure of your job, and it makes sense because of bills and everything.
That's the cycle we continue to be in.
That's why what I talk about here is so important. The ideas I present about the future, and those which others present, because let's be clear, I'm not claiming to have all the answers to every question, are important because we need them. We need them when the far right disappears, and that may happen sooner than you think. Thanks for watching this video. If you've
Go back to wherever you came from, far right.
He's actually kind of talking about a plan to be like, get ready to do this once this happens. Like, it is true, because if that happens and everyone's just kind of like, oh, this is awesome, and then like nothing happens.
I mean, he's saying to rebuild. He's not like putting out a roadmap. But
No, I know.
I get what you're saying. He's just saying like, don't let it fade. Like,
That's what-
there has to be another
Yeah.
step to take.
That's what I think, like, the Democrats are fucking up. Like, if they know the No Kings protests are happening and there's millions of people, they need to take that to advantage of that fucking energy. Like, the Democrats need to fucking rally that and be
Yeah.
like, we are going to change this. Like, we are going to take it, not take them down, but we are going to, like...
They need to focus on financial talking points more than like
Vibes.
I hate to say it, human rights and
Yeah.
like
Vibes.
a lot of these people on the far right, they genuinely do not believe some people are entitled to human rights. So when you just talk about the financial burden this has been on Americans,
Everyone relates to that.
I feel like that's just where they're gonna hear and like pick up on what you're saying.
Yeah. I did a political test on, like, where you land. I guess it considered me a populist. I don't even know what that really is.
You're just another number.
Let me see. Hold
Just
on.
kidding.
A person, especially a politician, who strives to appeal to ordinary people who feel that their concerns are disregarded by established elite groups. Okay, yeah, that's true. So I guess
You're
I'd be
like,
considered
yeah,
like a
it's just me.
left populist. I don't know.
Whatever. We don't have to label everything. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Let us
Go
know if
follow
you-
that guy.
Yeah, let us know if you've listened to this guy before. I like him. I'll put his thing in the description so you can follow. And please like, comment, subscribe. Jump over to our vlog channel.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Bye.